Look, your story can have the best lore ever written, obsessively intricate maps, a 10,000-year timeline. But if your characters are boring, congratulations. You've just created a very pretty corpse. People will forgive a lot of things in a story. Plot holes? Sure, man. Bad world building? Shit happens. Visual effects so bad they look like a middle school PowerPoint? Whatever. But if there's one thing that most audiences never forgive, ever, it's your characters sucking. You can have a dumb plot, cheesy dialogue, goofy costumes, but if the characters are compelling, people will love your story. Because at the end of the day, we don't follow plots. We follow people. Let me prove it to you with the single greatest example in human history. Power Rangers. Oh yeah, we're going there. Power Rangers may have had dialogue written by aliens trying to imitate humans, effects held together by duct tape and wishful thinking, villains who looked like failed arts and crafts projects, and fight scenes in the exact same quarry every week. And you know what? It still became a global phenomenon. Why? Because the characters were lovable. That's it. Jason, Billy, Trini, Zach, Kimberly, Tommy. Archetypes. But living, breathing, charismatic archetypes. We didn't care that a monster exploded from a single karate chop. We cared that our favorite ranger was the one who threw said chop. That's the power of character. This applies everywhere. Star Wars? Messy scripts, clunky dialogue, absolute chaos behind the scenes. And characters so iconic, they became modern mythology. Smallville? The effects look like they were rendered on a microwave. But Clark, Lex, and Lionel are so compelling that people stuck around for 10 seasons. Highlander? Simple rules, zero hand-holding, and characters so charismatic, they turned a straightforward premise into something legendary. And if you've never seen Highlander, watch it blind. Don't read the description. The premise itself is a spoiler. Trust me. Now, I'd like to preemptively address the counter-argument I already know someone's gonna make.
Well, clearly characters don't matter, because Avatar keeps making $1 billion.
Yes, I'm aware of that. I'm not denying reality. But here's the distinction people keep missing. Avatar is an event that people go to see. It's not something that actually sticks with them. People don't quote Avatar characters. They don't argue about them. They don't build their identities around them. And that's because the kind of audience that Avatar is targeting aren't really the sorts of people who get invested in franchises. Avatar is a theme park ride. A beautiful, expensive, technically impressive theme park ride. But unless you're James Cameron, you don't get to skip character. Spectacle may get a lot of attention, sure, but it's characters that really get audience loyalty. We're wired as a species for human stories. We remember personalities. We love flaws. We love conflict. If your world building is perfect, but nobody in it feels real, well, that's a museum, not a story. And look, this isn't complicated. To make a character compelling, you really only need 3 things. 1, they want something. That's what gives the story momentum. 2, they've got a flaw getting in the way. That's where conflict comes from. And 3, they actually do things that affect the story. They make choices, and those choices have consequences. And that's pretty much it. Boom. Congratulations. If you've done those 3 things, you've just outwrote half of Hollywood. So yeah, your story doesn't need perfect lore or perfect logic or a VFX budget the size of a small nation's GDP. It just needs characters that people actually give a damn about. Get that right, you can mess up pretty much everything else and still win. Get it wrong, and all that world building is still just a very pretty corpse.